do you think that your own particular movement practice prepares you for injury? And if so, how?
I think it does the opposite. I think it sets me up for injury because I'm constantly trying to push the limits of what my body can do. I think it would be much safer to take a much easier discipline or do it at a much lower level and not try and push the limits of my body. That being said, I think this type of practice, if you do it sensibly, it can be very, very safe. I think if you try to do anything at a high enough level, there's an inherent risk of injury. So you'll have a difficult time finding a sport or an athletic discipline out there where the people at the highest level don't get injured. But there's a luxury in calisthenics, in movement practice, bodyweight training, that you're in total control of everything that you do. So I don't have to navigate somebody trying to tackle me, somebody trying to, harm me, trying to impose their will on me. It's just me. So I can choose how hard I train. I can choose what postures I want to do. I can make it as safe or as risky as I want. Some things that I think calisthenics is really good for, and some things that I think it can really help with when it comes to injury prevention. The first is strength. So just building a resilient body, the more strength you have, the more your body is adapted to load on the tissues, that being muscles and connective tissues, the more resilient it will be. So I think the strength that you get from calisthenics is really good, but no better than you get from something like weight training. The mobility requirements with calisthenics, so like we spoke about before, things like the back lever, hollow back handstands, they require the tissues to contract in lengthened positions. And I think your body adapting to that can help set you up to be more resilient in those, especially in those positions. So I think, somebody who's used to holding back levers is going to have a much more resilient bicep tendon in a lengthened position than somebody who hasn't. The other thing I think it's really useful with is neuromuscular control. So knowing where your body is in space, having the ability to control your body can go a really long way in other disciplines. If you've got really good control over your ankles and knees and really good neuromuscular control with jumping, you'll be much less likely to tear your ACL or injure your knee. And I think the same thing is true with the upper body. If you have really good control over your scapulohumeral rhythm, over your shoulder blade, over your arm, mixed with good strength, good mobility, you're kind of in the best position you can be to be resilient when it comes to risk of injury.